It costs a little money, but it costs money to make money. That's what's needed out here. And so, I want you to think about that for a little bit. And while I get into this next little tune, this next little song I'm gonna get into is from the son of Fela Kuti. But I got a caller calling in. Hold on one second. You're calling live right here on the Man Cave Show, SUT Radio. Who's calling?
Hey, Sean, it's Lo.
Lo, what's up, Lo? What's up, Lo?
Nothing much, sitting here listening to your show, and I had a little comment about the topic you're on right now.
Okay, what's up? Talk to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know how you were saying about blacks live above their means, and, when the housing crisis happened, everybody, there were a lot of people affected and things like that. Well, to be honest with you, there were a lot of people across the board affected, but the bounce back was very different. You see, as African Americans, we were never taught how to make our money work for us. If you go into another community, an affluent community, 9 out of 10 times, each person in that household is going to have what's called a Dun & Bradstreet number attached to each and every one of them. That way, when that kid turns 16, 17 years old, they can pull off the lot with a brand new Range Rover. They can have a Mercedes-Benz. When they get married, they can buy a new house because their money is not attached to their credit, let's just say. Because as long as you got a Dun & Bradstreet number, and by the way, you can have as many as you like, you can go bankrupt like Trump did and go down the street and buy something else and do the same thing all over again, because you never have to deal with the personal financial stress. Black people were never taught that. Black people were taught you're only worth what you have, so make it work. They were never taught the ins and outs of how to work the system the way everybody else works the system so that they can get ahead. That's why you have a lot of people that are in the African American community, low housing, low income, things like that. First of all, if you look at the very wealthy, you don't see a lot of the craziness going on that you see where African Americans are concerned. Why are we running out buying $300 and $400 sneakers? Michael Jordan ain't thinking about us. When all of this stuff went down, where they were killing these black people in the street, did you hear Michael Jordan come out and say anything to our defense? Did he come out at all?
Nah, you ain't lying about that. And I lived in Chicago during that time and growing up, and you ain't lying. I didn't see that. I didn't hear
right. But, I mean, it's like, but right now we're just all, well, I'm not going to say we, because I could care less about Michael or his Jordans. But, being a label whore, to, put it blunt, being a label whore. Why are you running around here trying to live like these people on TV live, where most of their stuff is rented? When they take it off, it goes back in a bag and goes back to whoever made it. They're not using all of that stuff. They're not buying all of that stuff. Let's be honest here. Why do you think you hear so many of these people who are out here in the industry getting broke, going broke, busted up? They don't have anything. One slip up and they got nothing because they haven't been taught how to make money work.
So, with that being said, that black folks, are still not being taught how to manage money properly and how to make their money work for them. There are programs though that assist in that. So
there are.
So why don't we take it upon ourselves to start informing people on that?
Well, I talk to anybody that'll listen, and I tell them, all of that stuff is here today, gone tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Why would you spend $100 on a pair of jeans when the next chick is going to come behind you next month and tell you, oh, your jeans are out of style, why you wearing that, and then try to make you feel bad about what you're wearing? That's ghetto mentality.
But let me disagree with you on that, because, and I'm glad you said this, because I had a great argument about somebody with this, right? So there's a picture that's floating around on, of course, the internet, because the internet is undefeated. And there's a picture of Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates in the same room together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the picture says, not one Gucci belt being displayed, or one whatever, right?
Right.
Now, here's the thing. I know firsthand, back in the day, Ted Turner was a very frugal person, very simple, common man.
Mm-hmm.
He drove a Ford Taurus for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mark Zuckerberg, right? You see those pictures, and they look plain Jane, or like, that's not a man, but like an average Joe.
Mm-hmm.
But you know he got on $200 jeans and $100 t-shirt on, right? Because you can go, it may look like common stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you still can get a plain Gucci t-shirt or some kind of whatever name brand or whatever place you're shopping, high-end place, because they're not shopping at Target. So you're going to go into a Neiman's and spend $100 on a t-shirt. And it may
no, they're not. To
No?
be honest with you,
Yes, they
people
are.
are paying them to wear their clothes. People are sending them their clothes to wear, because then they can remarket for free and say, for the free advertising, look, he wears our clothes, so it's got to be worth
But
this
baby,
dollar.
not everything though. Let's just be real. Let's stop making it look like black people are just around here spending money on material things when white people don't. White people do completely.
Oh, they do, but they also learn how to buy things that have some type of a value. If you ever go into like upper middle class, other than black family, I'm not going to say they're just white, other than black family. When you look in their living room or throughout their house, they're going to have little knickknacks and things like that really look something that you wouldn't find in the average house in our community, and we'll overlook it. We won't realize that the plates on the wall are worth $1,200 a piece, and they got 24 of them. Mm-hmm. They look at everything that they buy is between asset and liability. Is it an asset or liability? Black people don't think about that. Mm. When we go out and we spend money, we don't think, is this an asset or a liability? When we're dealing with people in our everyday lives, are we thinking, are they an asset or a liability?
But Lo, if I damn, I hate to put myself out there, but if I go to the Gucci store and buy a pair of shoes, and I see somebody that's not black in there with me buying shoes, I mean, what makes us different?
Nothing, other than the fact that they're probably using a credit card that was bought on Dun & Bradstreet, now so they can walk away from it if they want to.
So
we're spending hard-earned money.
So are you referring to that not an EIN number, but to a what's it called?
Dun & Bradstreet.
No, it's referred to something else.
Business credit?
A CPN number.
Okay.
So you're saying that. So, but that all goes to financial literacy. I would say that, but you still, it's still making it sound like, why are we trying to make it sound like we're just bad? We're so bad with money, but they still have to pay that credit. But Lo, they still have to pay that credit card bill. White people use American Express. Black people use cash. Okay, American Express, you got to pay that at the end of the month. Cash, you didn't pay for it. So to me, the person that's winning is the person that's using cash.
Not really, because when you look at it on paper, the person that's using that American Express is building what a quote-unquote a legacy that shows that they're worth more than what the average person is who can't prove what they're worth, other than saying, I've got a couple $1,000 here and I can pay this in cash. That's the difference.
If they have $100,000 in debt and that black person doesn't have $100,000 in debt, they just don't have a credit score or revolving credit, I'm confused on who's better.
See, but that's what I'm telling you. If they have $100,000 in credit and they're running their credit under a DMV number, They can file bankruptcy on that today and open up new credit tomorrow. That's the difference.
That's true.
That's the difference. It's not attached to their Social Security number.
This is correct. It's a CPN number.
Both the guy loathe that worthless sack of nothing that he is. And I'll be honest with you, I loathe him. I've paid attention to him since he came on the scene up in New Jersey, buying up them buildings and casinos and things in Atlantic City. Mm-hmm. And he said it plain and simple. Yeah, I filed bankruptcy 5 times in the past XYZ amount of years, but that's okay. All I got to do is go down the street and open up another building, and I'm good. Yeah. I followed him, and I tried, and I learned from him all of the things that you need to know as far as getting ahead, as far as dollar is concerned. Not to mention, my daddy was a really good man when it came down to business, and he wasn't playing. Okay, he had a few DMV numbers. Mm. You know, we did pretty well when he was alive. So he taught me a lot. And one thing he always taught me, just because you got money in your pocket doesn't mean it needs to be spent.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, you got to look at it and really look at the value of what you're getting when you're putting it out. Mm. Now, I'll spend money on a life experience, like going out on this cruise for New Year's Eve, because I've never been on a cruise on New Year's Eve. Mm-hmm. It's something different. It's something that I'll remember for the rest of my life and have a smile on my face because of it. Mm-hmm. You know, but what I won't do is run down to the mall and spend a couple $1,000 in the mall to have clothes that I may or may not fit next week, or may or may not be good because I might have got bleach on it or got it ripped or something. I'm not going to do that. Mm-hmm. Because that becomes a liability.
Now, I'm reading a chat at the same time you're talking, and Ed is listening in, and Ed is saying, because this is true about CPNs and about the number you referred to, it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. Ed is saying that they're not as legal as they say. Now, there are legal restrictions on the CPN, and people, of course, have abused them over the years. Mm-hmm. CPNs were originally used for basically a line of credit. Also, they were used for people who were in witness protection programs. Mm-hmm. And so people got hip to it, and they abused them. They're still around. I mean, they're not going anywhere, but they do have like restrictions on them as well. So,
of course,
it's just my realistic question is, I don't think that really makes the two different, whether you use cash or credit, as far as this particular thing. If we're both shopping in high-end fashion stores, or we're shopping based upon what we feel is our income or our people. Uh-huh. So when I go into Louis and I buy a Louis a purse or bag or whatever for someone or myself or whatever, I don't see it as a problem. But
no, it's not so much of a problem if it's not living above your means.
But that's the problem. Black people do it. Most of them are living above their means.
Exactly.
Other races.
If you $800 pocketbook and only $20 in there, there's a problem.
We'll say that one more time.
If you got an $800 pocketbook and only $20 in it, you got a problem. Mm. And it's a real problem, because 9 out of 10, if you got that $800 pocketbook with a $20 bill in there, you got about $200 worth of fake hair on your head, too.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, that's
I'm going to say the state, boo. I'm just going to say it.
I'm dead.
Because,
I'm back.
Unfortunately, materialism is a problem that is in America.
Mm.
And don't get it twisted. Black women are not the only women that wear weave. Black women were the last women to wear weave. Mm. Let's be real with this. Mm. So I'm just going to say that. And I don't have a problem. I love the fact that women take care of themselves and they look good when they walk out the door. You know, I love that. Mm-hmm. But what I need people to understand is, once you come home, are your lights on? Mm. Are your kids fed? Mm. When you put your key in your ignition in your car, is there gas in there? Do you have money to put gas in there when you pull off? You know, these are things that need to go through our heads because the people who we're spending our money for, they have